Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another day of Owatonna Wrestling, our weekly podcast here. I'm Larry Houghton along with DJ Johnson, Coach Derek Johnson, the head coach of the wrestling program here at Owatonna.
Yeah.
He's doing a fine job. And
Thank you.
What helps him do a fine job is our sponsor. We got to bring that up, the Flemke Agency. I'll let you introduce them there.
Yeah, Mr. Ben Flemke, patron, sponsor to Owatonna Wrestling. Has a son in the program too, Max, 8th grader. He's been up at the high school. And Mr. Flemke is sponsoring on behalf of the Flemke Agency. So trusted, loyal, and committed is their slogan. And the advantage that he has as an independent insurance agent means that he can find you the best carrier, the best deal for home, auto, or your business. So thank you to Ben Flemke of the Flemke Agency.
But I think that's great. Okay, let's get right into it. The OHS Weekly Recap. Last Thursday, you had a tough try, probably the toughest day of the year, I think, against Kasson-Mantorville and Stillwater. Was it Kasson, Stillwater?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So how'd that go there, Coach? Them guys are tough.
Woo! Yeah, both number 2. So in their respective class sizes. So Stillwater we had first, number 2 in AAA. We fell to them 50-16. We took 4 matches. Should have been 5, but we had Mr. Landen Johnson voluntarily bump up to take on their number 1 in state gopher commit, Hunter Lydan, at 170. I keep saying this. Landon's mindset is just insane. The fact that he voluntarily wanted to go up because he was going to take on 2 number 1s that night at a heavier weight class. His mindset, his toughness, his discipline are just unparalleled.
That's the word, the discipline. To go and take on those tougher guys, it's got to be great. That's Landon. I just think that's awesome that you want to take on the toughest guy in the team.
Yeah, it was crazy. So against Stillwater, he fell 5-0, but he had the kid gassed after about the 30, 45 seconds. So he gave him everything that kid could handle. The other guy was just stronger, just flat out stronger, and won in a few positions, but I maintain that, if a match was 4 periods, Landon would have came out the victor. He had him broken. So,
right. And then Kasson,
number 2 in AAA. So they were the host school that night. Fell 44-12. Yet again, we would have had more points if Landon took the easy way out, but he didn't. He bumped up to take on Glazer, number 1 at 170 that night. And had a very questionable call. They gave him a fleeing the mat as he was doing a whizzer kind of roll through funk move on the edge of the mat. So teed him up for a point, which gave Glazer the 2-point lead. And Landon, for the next minute, chased him around in that last period. So
circle and circle is all they did. He just kept running around.
Just ran from him. And they dinged him for stalling finally with like 10 seconds left. But, man, it was stalling a lot earlier than that.
And Kasson is number 2 in class AA.
Yes. So, and up and down the lineup, both teams are absolutely stacked.
How about Lane Karsten? He had a pretty good night.
He did. So he took on number 2 from Stillwater, Daffenbach, and gave up the major, but at the same time, Karsten took him down. He was extremely tough to see his progression. He's yet again a fearless wrestler, willing to take on. He took down Davis against Albert Lee. Yet again, Daffenbach has been untouchable all season, and yet Karsten was going head-to-head with him, kept him to a major. And then against Kasson, I don't think Lane Karsten has lost an overtime match since he can remember. He's just so clutch. So he goes into overtime on that one, on a clasping call, kind of a boneheaded clasping, that he was just frustrated with himself, and then goes out and gets the winning takedown, and just... He's been so solid lately. So
I put a star by that guy's name. He's going to be fun to watch this week.
Yeah.
Kanin Hable's coming around.
He is. So not only did he get the major against Stillwater, he already had a major going, and he's a Greco-Roman wrestler.
Yep.
He's going to college to wrestle Greco.
Yep.
And the kid walks into a body lock that he takes midnight, belly to belly, 5-point throw in Greco. Just woo, everyone went crazy. It was great. He came off just all wired, and then sure enough against Kasson, who neither kid was a slouch, and so he got a pin on him. Was just electric that entire time. So
good for him.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds really good that you got some of these kids are getting really fired up because this is the time to get fired up. This time of year, section's coming up. We'll talk about that more later. But how about the JV and the Big Nine Conference meet?
Yeah, so our JV keeps impressing, which is great. Watching what the future holds there. We took second to Albert Lee over the weekend on the Saturday Big Nine meet. And actually, that was without, I think we had 2 or 3 open weight classes where we just, that's where our wrestlers are. We had extra guys at certain weights, and then we had a few open weights. So scoring-wise, we did all that with an incomplete lineup, took second, and...
You had 8 individual finalists. So
8 individual finalists with 3 champions, Ethan Schubert, Jack Sorenson, Max Flemke, and then the other finalists were Ryan Grunwald, Ryan Feltz, Lucas Smith, and Grant Lauer. And actually...
And Jaden Jerley, you missed that one.
Oh, yeah, Jaden Jerley, too. Yep. And actually, Lucas Smith and Max Flemke, 2 Owatonna wrestlers, were in the 220 finals against each other.
Against each other.
Yeah, so can only score one of them.
Well, it's an individual tournament. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you don't have to have that wrestle off in the wrestling.
Right, yeah.
You have it out there.
Exactly. So that was
a
fun.
lot of matches of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
All right. How about this week? Thursday, team sections. Here we go.
Yeah. So
I'm getting nervous.
I know. We're the number 4 seed. So it's Northfield, then it's Rochester Mayo, Faribault, then Owatonna. And this year they changed the format a little bit to where just the number 1 and number 2 seeds host that Thursday night. And so we're wrestling all the way through semis on Thursday, so tomorrow night. So being the 4 seed, we're heading up to Northfield. We'll have Austin at 6 o'clock, and then about 15 minutes after that duel, everything goes to plan. We will then have Northfield at about 7:15. So they're going to do that under the lamp. It's going to be a rocking gym, and as we were talking off camera a little bit, we need everything to be in alignment. Yep. We have about 4 or 5 bubble matches in that, and all of them went the other
ones.
Yeah.
Oh man!
It just so happened that in the duel, all of them went Northfield way. So we have a big senior presence that this is their last ride. We gotta have some heroes step up.
If you got these kids doing these kind of wins against these tough teams, that fires up anybody.
Yeah.
When you get that ball rolling, once it gets rolling, oh man, it's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got those guys. Then this week we have Thursday team sections, and then Saturday team section finals.
Yep. So if we make our way through Northfield and qualify, we'll have finals at 2 p.m. at the Mayo Civic Center.
Okay.
And odds are the winner of Mayo and Faribault will be there. And then same day, the first ever girls section individual tournaments taking place up at Hastings High School. So we're sending Ryan Grunwald, senior, captain, and freshman Isabel Townley. So those respectively are 114 and 107 pounders that we're sending. So should be good. How they're running it is girls sections are basically sections 1 through 4 are all doing one kind of conglomerated section tournament, and then 5 through 8 up north. So
I was down in Kentucky last weekend at sections down there, and they have the same thing going. They got a girls section tournament, girls state tournament. And so this is all sanctioned. Minnesota finally came around and sanctioned that girls tournament, which is huge.
Yeah.
For these guys, they did it for the last few years, but now it's for real. And it's going in the record books and everything else. So that's a lot of fun there.
And we're hoping that drives more and more youth wrestling girls to, now they see like a definite path to where you can be in the mix and everything, but we all know it. As soon as you start hitting weights in high school, some body types change and everything like that, and some girls might feel like there's a tougher road if they're in with the boys. So here's the level playing field, and it's exciting. We're hoping that just keeps building the sport. More and more girls-only events for high school during the season and things like that. So, yeah.
Very good. All right, we're at the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly podcast here. Again, Larry Howard along with Coach Johnson, the head guy of the team. We're going to go into our OWA Youth Recap.
Yeah, so Saturday, the kids were at New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva individual tournament. We had 15 Owatonna wrestlers participate. Saw a lot of great podium shots on Facebook from parents that weekend or that day. So it looks like we had a blast there. So that was great.
And Sunday, you had the Minnesota USA Regional Qualifier here in Owatonna, the Hovden Qualifier. I guess it is.
Well, I think actually, I think I was mistaken. Is it the freestyle one is the Hovden one?
Okay.
Coming up soon? Yeah. So this was just our Min USA.
Okay.
So don't you worry. We'll have your statue,
yeah.
their gold statue unveiled, and yep, it'll be
No problem. You had a bunch of first places there. I'm
did.
shocked at how many you got. Easton Busho, Rev Franco, Will Fanistel, and then those Lindquist families. They got the twins, Kaylin and Colton Lindquist, along with, I don't want to miss anybody.
Kasson and Caden.
Yep.
Yep.
Man. And then we had Caleb Pastica, Mason Sorenson, Owen Sorenson, and Lucas Wallace all finished first place.
Yeah, and Mason and Owen are kids of Josh Sorenson. So familiar name for you there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very familiar name.
Yes. Yes.
Him too.
Then we had second placers. We had Archer and Tucker Anderson, Aaliyah Fisher, who we see her name all the time, and Easton Johnston took second.
Third place finishers. Payson Fisher, Nash Geraldine. That kid's always in there.
Yeah.
Kalen Reitman, Jackson Spielman, and Jacob Wilson.
Yes. And then fourth, we had Miles Ozzie and Sawyer Franco. So a lot of familiar last names in there. So that was a good day. We had the high schoolers here reffing. They got to kind of intermingle too with the youth wrestlers, and I think that's always important to have kind of like the that presence, that connection, something for the little guys to look up to.
And they get excited when they see those high school wrestlers just walk on a mat,
Right.
So it's fun to see. And you got quite youth participation, so that's a thing I'm looking at for a young coach to come in, and Coach Johnson is really promoting at that youth level. He knows he needs that feeder program.
Yeah, absolutely. We start doling out our mandatory steroids next week. So, yep, we'll be good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, coming up next, we're gonna have a couple of guests on, youth wrestler, and then one of the Owatonna high school coaches. So, stick around.
All right, welcome back to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast here. We got the guest portion going here on the show, Easton Busho. All right? I just love the hairdo.
No.
Easton, you are wearing the do, I'll tell you.
He's got that faux hawk going. Nice.
He's a proud boy, and he's not scared to wrestle a little bit.
Yeah. Easton, we just read your name. Taken first at the Min USA qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that fun?
Yeah.
How many guys in your bracket?
4.
Four? Okay.
Nice, nice.
How'd you do?
First.
Must have beat them all, huh? Other 3 guys? You get any
Yeah.
pins?
1, I think.
Okay. Well, you got some full match wrestling. That's always fun, too. Go out there and pin them in 10 seconds. What does that teach you? Nothing. Go out there and wrestle the whole period. Remember I said that. It's fun to get that pin. If you go out there and wrestle the whole match, you learn a lot of new moves. And your moves that you've been doing. That's what it
Speaking
is.
of, what's like your favorite takedown?
Outside single.
Outside, very
knew that right
specific
away.
and sharp. I love it. Nice. How about if you're going to pin somebody? What's like your go-to?
Armbar.
Arm bar. What do you do with the other arm? What are you looking for? Wrist?
Grab the shoulder.
Shoulder grab. Okay, and then he just sucks under and it's super tight. I like it. Do you have another pinning hold that you go to?
Not really.
Not really. Right now, that's all you need.
Half.
Half.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
Everybody
Love
likes
that.
a half.
Love that.
You get that going, you'll go a long ways. You will.
Yeah. What about, okay, so we're at practice and you're bench pressing 300 pounds and you're eating raw eggs. And then they're like, hey, it's time to play a game. What's your favorite game?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Nice. You got a cannon on you? And you don't, you have a big one? Kinda. You play baseball too?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how to throw.
Yeah.
You know how to whip that. Yeah. Nice. How about favorite position in baseball?
Pitcher.
Pitcher. You do have a cannon. You're so humble. Like, I don't know. I guess.
Pitcher, first base.
Okay. Nice.
This kid's for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
How about your favorite superhero?
Batman.
Batman. I haven't heard that one from anybody.
Nice. What do you like about Batman? Like, what's your favorite part of it?
His car.
The
Batmobile.
Batmobile.
Do you know I got a picture of me sitting in that car?
Wait. The Adam West one?
Yes.
The old school?
The Batman car down in Missouri. I forget what town it is. It was at a museum.
So you're a Batmobile guy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite villain that Batman goes against?
Joker.
Man, you're just hitting it out of the park here. I love it.
That Joker never knew what he was gonna do, did you?
Yeah. Nice.
He's always laughing. Okay, we just got done with Valentine's Day. So what was your favorite candy on Valentine's Day? Did you eat it right away?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Probably the Skittles.
Oh,
Skittles. My goodness, dude. Yeah, you just know every
He's right on.
right answer. I mean, there's no right answers, but there's right answers. Doing a good job. Nice. So, Easton, what grade are you in?
Third.
And how long have you been wrestling?
6 years.
Oh my!
6 years. So, like, you were in the diaper division?
4-year-olds.
No.
No.
Well,
Okay.
4? Or
3.
3. Where did you
Nice.
go wrestle at 3? When you were 3 years old?
Owatonna.
Oh my!
Owatonna.
I remember I took my kids over to Wasika when they were that age. That was usually the good tournament. We had a lot of guys their age.
Nice. So, you've been wrestling this whole time. Do you have any shout outs to any of your buddies right now? Any
Caden. Lindquist.
Caden Lindquist. Okay. Nice. Shout out to Caden Lindquist.
Yep, just saying hi.
How about this year, this past season? Think back. What was the favorite tournament you went to?
And why?
And why?
NYWA.
Yeah. Nice. Why was that your favorite?
Just gotta have fun with my friends and wrestle good people.
Oh man, have fun.
Was
with
it
your
team
friends.
or individual?
Individual.
Individual.
Cool.
That's right.
Awesome, man.
You know, you talk about dodgeball being your favorite game. Your dad used to play dodgeball all the time when he was at the junior high.
I bet he got out all the time too.
I don't know. He was pretty gutsy. He'd go up after that ball and he'd throw it just as hard as he could.
I'm sorry to tell you, you're walking home. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play dodgeball all year, and then we'd have the swimmers, the varsity swimmers next door would always come in at the end of the year and play us, and we'd just massacre them. We'd get them every year. Never did lose to them, I don't think.
So are you a football player like your dad too?
Yeah.
Yeah. What position?
Running back.
Just like your dad.
Man, this kid's a stud.
Yeah. Athletic.
Athletic for
Nice.
sure.
Well, thank you, bud. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate everything you do. I see you at all these tournaments, and you are like the ringleader of all the kids. Like, not shy at all. Like helping. I mean, you helped at the Mineral Springs Brewery event. You were basically working the table. Like it was great. So appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you keeping it lively and crazy in practice because that's the fun part, right? Just
Bring your friends.
that energy. Yeah.
Bring some friends to practice.
Yeah.
That's always fun, too.
So they can learn dodgeball. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, bud. Thanks for coming on.
All right, welcome back again to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly podcast here. In Owatonna Wrestling, we got a new guy on the block here, Coach Mike Meger, coming here tonight. I think I missed the memo on wearing a tie. I don't know. These guys look really good.
Yeah, I always say I'm dressing down. You know,
Yeah.
I usually wear a three-piece suit.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, well, Coach Meger, not your first year coaching high school by any means, but first year back under, this regime, and love the energy, love the fact that you are able to challenge a lot of these wrestlers, kind of the lower to middle weights, which can be a little bit elusive or dangerous for someone like me to land on, or like one of the other Scala to crush all of a sudden. So
Well, they move so fast too.
Yeah.
They're fast.
yeah,
Yeah,
You're great
stick with them.
Great with the hands. So as far as, let's see, what year did you graduate?
2003.
2003. And I'm going to ask you to brag a little bit about your accolades here throughout high school and college. How'd you do in high school?
3-time place winner.
State place winner?
Yep. 4th, 3rd, and 3rd. Few records I think are still hanging out up here, but they're meant to be broken, of course.
Yeah.
All those records just mean something to one person, but I think it's, for the top of my head, it's 45 wins, 47 wins, and 49 wins for that. And up until Peyton Robb, I had the most valuable wrestler award 3 years in a row.
Wow.
There, so.
Nice.
And then got a scholarship to wrestle at NDSU up there. Started for 2 years. Didn't have quite the numbers as I did in college, but definitely you learn a lot about yourself up in those college rooms.
Yeah, you get on that level.
Yeah, it was fun though. You're around with everyone up there that wants to be there. And it.
Well, that changes the
fun,
atmosphere
yeah.
big time.
It was fun. I always asked Coach Scala, who was on last week, I asked him, like, so when did you fall in love with wrestling? He said, well, I didn't, It was hard all the way and I dreaded every minute of it, and
I didn't. So.
but no, I've always had a passion for wrestling, so it's been part of my life. It is life, So
Yeah. Well, and on top of the fact that you're basically an honorary Johnson, you're, I remember giving you rides every day and still have that rapport, the little brother rapport. But also, I wanted to bring you back because of the mentality that you were able to see in our wrestling. You were a part of these teams that we were absolute stalwarts all the way through.
Yep.
But then you got to see, a college wrestling room and that type of mentality. And then also, you were just always known as a master technician. We think about like hitting a smooth high C or something like that, and it was you because you had a great stance. You had you were sharp, always stayed in great position as you did it.
Yep.
So that's another reason I wanted you back in, and that positive influence as well. You're life of the party, Mr. Positive anyway.
yeah,
So
those young kids, they got a lot of energy, so you got to do what you can to top them, try to or at least match it. So
right.
it takes a lot of energy to do that, but they see it and they definitely respond well to that, and that's kind of the room that we want to have, and it's been a fun year.
Yeah.
So far. Can't wait to do the next 20 or 30.
You hear that, Destiny?
It's a
His
long
wife,
time.
Destiny. You
Yep.
hear that? Sorry. 20 years. Well, hey, speaking of family, though, so, Salic has become, kind of like a team mascot and everything, but you also are about to become a dad again. What do you got coming up?
Times 2. My wife is very pregnant. We're at 37 weeks in a couple days with twin boys.
Derek and Drew Meger.
Derek and Drew.
I keep inserting that one of these times it's going to
I
work.
keep telling my wife I kind of like Tom and Terry, but
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Instead of Tom and
yeah,
Jerry.
we'll see.
Well, no, it works for both the Brands and the Steiners.
Right? Yeah.
Both Tom and Terry.
So,
Yeah.
But
Well, that makes sense.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
You'll know when you see him.
Yep.
You'll know.
We'll
the
know.
name, if it works out which one.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Once you see it, boom, you got it.
Yeah, but I didn't really time it out well. The due date is March 7th, so I didn't really time that one out for the state tournament. So, but hopefully I can stay in the room as long as I can. And
Every year you're up at that state tournament, you'll have a birthday party in
that's
the
right.
hotel room.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the fun times.
So yep.
I've done that before.
Yeah. Well, and then they can celebrate, in 17 years when they're winning their titles.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. So that was always my birthday was March 7th, so it was always that type of deal. Like, I was
Perfect.
trying to do that. So.
I didn't know that. I'll
Yeah.
have to tell my wife. We gotta wait
That's
till
what I'm
March.
saying,
7th.
Derek
We gotta wait
and
till the
Drew
date,
Meger.
due date.
Yeah. Come on, Derek and Drew Meger.
Got a ring to it.
Yeah,
All right,
it
let's
does.
move on.
Okay.
What's the element of wrestling that you love most? That's a tough question.
Well, it's probably more. We have it in our wrestling room. It's anybody can wrestle, and for me being a little guy, I'm not gonna be playing football or basketball. Not that I couldn't have, but definitely was able to have some great success as a little guy. It kind of allowed me to have some doors of opportunity opened up to me to wrestle up in college. And
For years, we said
Yeah.
that anybody can wrestle.
Yep.
Small, middle-sized, big
Yep.
guys will
Yep.
take you all.
Yep, we'll
Anybody
take you
can
all, yeah.
wrestle for Owatonna wrestling.
Yep.
So true.
Well, and you're helping out now because Salik's trying it out. So you're helping out with the Husky practices and everything.
Yep.
How cool is that to see so many familiar faces of like our generation and now their kids are in it?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You know, I'm trying to recruit them to coach a little bit. You know, hey, you know what a single leg is. Come out here, but it's really cool to see all the parents and they're all invested too. You know, it's good to see that they're invested and they want the program to succeed, and they're definitely excited that you're the head coach there, Coach Johnson. So that's always good to see.
Well, I pay them well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But you know, too, kind of, that's why I'm coaching. You know, this program opened a lot of doors for me in my wrestling career, and it's time to give back. You know, and it's good to see. You know, there are some parents that are helping out, and kids that I went to school with.
And the more you get every year, the bigger the program gets.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember 1 year on the McKinley team, we had 12 coaches.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
For
Yep.
one team, remember?
That's
Eric,
awesome.
you were on that team.
Yeah.
Well, I was on Wilson, and we
Were you on
hated
Wilson?
you guys
Yep.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah. We had those were the 250 in the youth years,
Yeah.
where it was like
Yeah.
50 per elementary doing a duel on a Friday. Yeah.
Back when we had that old wrestling room,
Yeah.
the pole in the middle, I did the first match there. We had 2 teams in there, 50 kids on each team. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I heard people were like waiting in the hallway.
Yeah, we had to rotate them in so
Yeah.
they could wrestle.
Good problem to have. Good problem to have. That's
It was a
right.
great problem, but I had to
Yep.
get that changed real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was so fun. So fun to watch all those people. Yeah. I'll never forget it. All right, your coolest moment.
Coolest moment.
Wrestling for Owatonna.
Coolest moment would probably be Coach Johnson's senior year when we were in the finals. You know.
That was supposed to be a reload year.
Yep.
Like we were,
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
think we were ranked in the top 10, but it was like, we were not supposed to be in the finals.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That was fun to be in the finals, and that's really when like Valley started recruiting.
Yeah.
You know, they were doing a little recruiting
were
before,
doing
but then they were really not trying to hide it. You know.
That was that was the year where they didn't have a single kid from their school district.
No.
Yeah.
No.
it was-
Yeah. So we got us, you know, growing our program, and we
Is that
were
the year you wore those T-shirts?
The homegrown?
homegrown T-shirts.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
That's
the
right.
year.
That's
Good.
right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was great.
Yep.
That
So
was great.
that was fun. I mean, just being out there on that Excel Center floor and everyone's watching.
Lord.
Oh well, and like think of like Luke Krause hitting his lateral
drop.
You know, a kid like that. That was the
Oh, yeah,
perfect,
man.
you know, Owatonna Cinderella story of like Luke Krause was just always kind of right there. You know, never really breaking through until his
maybe
senior year.
Yep, maybe behind, you know, a couple tough guys and
Yeah,
just kind of
any other program, he would have been on varsity from
Yep.
sophomore on up.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that
I've
was-
talked to Luke. He came over. He does painting. That's his jobs he does, and we've talked some of the history of Owatonna, and that's what he brought up. He always had tough guys in front of him.
Well,
That made him tough.
Well, a great example was my senior year was Conrad Abramo. He would have been behind us. His family moved out to Brainerd for his dad's job. He made it to state in my weight class. He would have never made it if he was behind me. You know, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a cool story.
yeah.
You know?
No, that was a good
Yep.
year.
Well, we were a lot of serious stuff here. What's your funniest moment in the wrestling room or traveling? Maybe.
Well,
It's really funny.
man, so many to think of, right? Which
Well-
ones can I talk about that I won't get in trouble for? No.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Keith Stark, he always had a kind of comical.
I think it was, yeah, probably Keith. And my senior year, we crushed. He'd always give us Jolly Ranchers because we were cutting weight and just to not drink water and keep our throats
Not
wet.
dry.
Yep.
Salivated.
Salivated. Thank you. And we crushed the record by like 10 pounds.
Just consuming Jolly
Just-
Ranchers.
Just crushing Jolly Ranchers.
I can remember that the whole team, they all wanted to just eat as many as they could.
Yeah, he told me he had to that year he had to submit his receipts in to get reimbursed. He spent so much.
I believe that.
So thank you OWA for those Jolly Ranchers.
yeah, and thank you, Keith Stark.
Yes, thank you
Like,
Keith Stark.
Decades of
Amen.
service.
Showing us how it's done, really.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I am yet again to have you, you know, basically my brother, by my side through my first year of 36 years that we're gonna put in together
Yep.
here.
Yep. I mean, I was
I had
thinking.
35.
I was
Yeah,
thinking.
there you go.
I was
Yeah.
thinking 38. But if you want to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
cop out at 37. That's
No
fine,
shortcuts.
You know? Yep.
No.
Nope.
So I appreciate that, and as we talk about it, I appreciate your energy, and
Yeah.
I mean it's a grueling sport to train for, so you got to stay upbeat. You got to be an entertainer to a degree.
The only fun is winning. That's it.
Yeah.
Only
It
fun.
is fun.
So yeah. No, thank you very much, and appreciate it.
All right, their sponsor, the Flemke Agency. One more time, Derek.
Yeah, trusted, local, committed. Ben Flemke at the Flemke Agency, proud supporter of Owatonna Wrestling, the weekly podcast, but also some other marketing we do. And yeah, he's able to deliver.
Do the shopping. That's a big thing.
Yeah, do the shopping for you, basically, is to sum it up.
Get the best price.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben Flemke, Flemke Agency.
All right, that's another day for our Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Take care.